She will play it because she's a crazy reviewer gamer. Hopefully this song is shorter for you guys because she thinks the last one was too long, but she still is a crazy cat lady, you gamer. Hopefully this is the last one because like before, I don't like singing these songs.
Crazy Cat Lady Gamer Reviewer or Martha Butler does not own any trailers or pictures. I use them under fair use for educational and entertainment purposes.
Okay. Hi everybody, Martha here. So today we're doing on this side of it, so you guys can look at all my stuff while you're listening to me talk. So today we're reviewing Oliver and Company. Why are we reviewing Oliver and Company? Well, because I just got reading the book that this movie is very, very loosely based off of Oliver Twist. Like, when it comes to Disney, it's like this is Disney's always rules when they based it off classics is don't read the book, just make the movie. Because the, usually the books that they base these off are 100% sad. I mean, Oliver Twist is not as sad as a lot of the other ones because at least the main character makes out of the book a lot, makes out of the book alive, and well, I mean, Oliver still gets treated like nobody cares about the poor little guy, but because Oliver gets all for people who have not read the book, I'll try my best not to say too much, but it's an old book. But I had no reason to talk because I had before this I did not read it, did not finish it, so I do not know what happens into it because I'm reading a lot of classics lately. So yeah, so let's talk about this movie. So different from the book is that this movie takes place in New York instead of England, and, and which this is probably just as bad because New York is where it has people who are jerks and it can be jerks in it. There's nice people in New York too, but a lot of them are jerks. Um, there's jerks everywhere, but mm, anyway, I do like how they started out because it starts out like it's a painting, and you have to do, and you see Oliver and the other kittens get taken, the other kittens who look exactly like him but different painting colors. Like because this is what Disney does. They use different models for like different to save money, and basically they use the same exact model for each of Oliver's siblings, and just painted them differently. And so what is wrong with you guys? What's wrong with New York? Do you guys have something against orange cats? Like, I bet my cat would end up just like Oliver and not finding a home. I'm just saying, like, what's wrong with those people? Why don't they want to adopt Oliver? So, all the other kittens get adopted, but he doesn't. And poor Oliver has like rain on top of him. Like, who's the owner of this? Like, I bet the owner who owns the mommy does not care about these kittens either, because they left Oliver and the other kittens out there every single day alone to survive until they get adopted. And poor Oliver when Oliver was the last one there, he has to be the box breaks after a rainstorm is very destroys it, and he has to go and find another place to stay after a bunch of dogs try to attack him, which look a lot like the ones from Lady the Tramp, but the ones that attack Lady. So, and he goes and hides on a he goes and hides on top of a wheel on a car, and that's where he spends the night after he gets scared by the thunder. And okay, before we continue on, I'm going to tell you which era this one's from. So I mentioned this movie in my Lena Tramp one. So this movie is one of the last movies during the dark age of Disney, which is basically means that after Walt Disney died, until Little Mermaid came along, so like between the late 60s, 70s, and the 80s, so during like 20 years, the Walt Disney did not make a lot of money after Walt Disney died. So they did make money off these movies, but they did not make as much as they would have if Walt, like, it's kind of weird because all these movies, except for maybe about two of them, I don't really care for, which is weird. One of those two ones has a sequel. What? And the ones that I do care for is this one, Fox and the Hound, and the Great Mouse Detective, because they only made like six movies, because I forgot Black Cauldron. So they made like 6 movies during this time, I think, and during these past 20 years. So yeah, so Disney was kind of really struggling during this time, especially during the 80s, because they had to deal with Don Bluth. Now, people who do not know who Don Bluth is, he used to work at Disney for a little bitty while. He worked on Fox and the Hound and Sleeping Beauty, but after he finished working on Fox and the Hound, and after he works on the Brexters, the first Brexters, he left and made his own company. So during this movie might have bombed because of Land Before Time, which was made by Don Bluth. So yeah, so during the 80s, Disney was struggling thanks to their new competition to one of their former artists leaving Disney and starting his own company with Steven Spielberg. So yeah. So definitely during the 80s they were struggling. So let's get back to the story. Now that you guys had your little history lesson. So Oliver wakes up and finds a bunch of people who are like not caring, except for this little boy who wants to pet him. But his mommy says, "We can pet the kitty later." Like, nope, you're not gonna pet the kitty later because you never see it Oliver again. So, and I like this part because it's kind of like Lady and the Tramp, where you only see the feet of the people. So it represents that you're seeing the world from Oliver's eyes. So yeah. I mean that was okay. I mean, like in it, Lady trying to break the rules later on, but they kind of have to because those 4 humans are main characters. So yeah. So after that, this is another one they break the rules for, but I don't know if he really counts because he's not really a main character. So you see the hot dog dude, who Oliver wants to get hot dogs from, and this is when we meet Dodger, which is played by Billy Joel. People, Billy Joel. I bet a lot of kids are like probably saying, "Who the heck is Billy Joel?" He's still alive, guys. He's just not as young as he used to be in this movie. He wrote a bunch of songs, and I'm not sure he wrote the song that he's going to sing in this movie. Disney might have wrote it and told him to sing it, but who knows? He might have written it. So, Dodger and Oliver fight against the hot dog dude and get the hot dogs from him, and Dodger and him escape, and Oliver asks, "What are we gonna eat?" "Yeah, I'm starving." And Dodger said, "Listen, kid, Madame Uno, Uno, duo, Uno." And this is when my favorite song comes up. So on the movie. So I not sing all of it, but I know all of her songs, because I've been practicing this. Usually when I do a Disney review, I listen to the song over and over and over again, so I can memorize it. So, but I'm only gonna sing a little bit of it, so I don't get copyright strike or claimed. So, okay. What should I worry? Tell me, why should I care? When ain't nothing ever done, how the streets that are Fred. So yeah. Okay. So, and that's my favorite song. And there's like a bunch of references to other dogs that we see. We see Trusty, we see Pongo, and we see Lady, and I think we also see a little Scotty dog from Lady Tramp. Darn it! I always forget his name. The Scottish Terrier. And then I just did that review. Darn it. So we see them both. We see all those characters in here. And for some reason, they give Pongo a big tongue. Okay. So and this is when they take us to where they live, which is an old abandoned boat. On the what's it called? That river in New York. I should know because it's one of the gargoyles' names. Okay, so it's called a Hudson. That's what that river is called. So, okay, for people who also know the actors, if I can get this phone to go up. My phone's... Hold on. Oliver and Company. Excuse...
Oliver and Company is a 1988 movie directed by George Scribner, starring Billy Joel, Joey Lawrence, and Bette Midler.
Thank you for that. But that's what I'm looking for. Let's see. The one who plays Tito is Martin? Chili Martin? I have a hard time saying that name, sorry. That's who plays him. So that's like a really good Mexican actor. I think he's Mexican. So, and that's who plays Tito. And Tito's here is dancing, listening to music, while Francis is watching some old TV show on their messed up television. Which Reagan's homeless. Of course, he's gonna have a mess of television. He's lucky to have a television, period. So, Tito was Francis gets mad at Tito for listening to music while he's watching his TV show, and yep. Now Francis starts quoting, and Tito is like, "What, Frankie? What are you watching, man?" and Francis is like, "Don't call me Frankie. My name is Francis." No kidding, man. So it's supposed to be Francis' time to go and get the food, but Dodger went to go and get it because Francis wants to watch his TV. I guess he cares more about watching TV than eating. I can take a few, like, isn't that all of us? So, after, this is when Dodger comes in and explains to them, like, comes up with some weird tall tale about how he got the hot dogs. And, while he's telling them this tall tale to them, Oliver falls down and lands and gets up, like, caught in a bunch of clothes and stuff like that. And surprises the doggies. And when they come out, Rita says, "Cool, man, it's just a cat." And so I'm going to try and explain what each breed these dogs are, if I best I can. Some of them, like, I know Rita is a mutt. I can't tell with what dogs are mistyped of her. Same thing with Dodger. I think Dodger definitely has a beagle blood in him because his nose is not long enough to be from a basset hound. So, like, that's how you tell the difference between a basset hound and a beagle is the nose. Cheeto is definitely a Chihuahua. I would say that, Francis is part, Bulldog, and definitely Einstein is a Great Dane. So there you guys go. There's the breeds of all of these doggies that Fagin has. And so this is when Fagin comes in after the dogs start a fight between each other because they thought it was funny that Dodger needed help from a cat. to get the hot dogs. And so they all started fighting, and Fagin, who represents the old Jew, and Oliver Twist, and just like in the book, he's the leader. So yeah, and teaches them how to steal stuff. So the weird thing is that he actually pays for the dog food. Like Fagin has a box of dog food here, and he actually pays for it. Like, good for him. He's like one of the few homeless people actually pay for stuff as opposed to stealing it. So, yeah, but he's actually one of the good ones out there. I mean, we don't know how he came homeless, but still. So what is going on here with Fagin and Sykes, who is also in the book and who also is the bad guy and all is basically the main bad guy in Oliver Twist. And weird thing is that he actually has a dog in that book. He just mistreats him a lot better than he does with the Soto and Roscoe. Like those two are just treated to be evil. Like to me, there's no this thing as an evil dog. There's just evil owners. So yeah, they're just trained to act this way. Trained to go downstairs and get Fagin, and if they try to pet them, they bite him. So he goes up there and talks to Sykes while Soto and Roscoe keep the other dogs busy, and Roscoe starts flirting with Rita. Okay, aren't you only supposed to be interested in full-breds? Huh? Full-bred dogs? Because these are mutts. But okay. So while they're doing that, Sykes is weird because this bridge is too small for a car to have somebody come out. Like, even if Sykes came outside, he would fall off the bridge. Like, how in the world did his doggies get out of that car without falling off the bridge? Like, this poor Fagin, like, almost falls off a couple of times while he's trying to talk to Sykes and gives him the junk that his doggies and him gather to give to him to help pay off the debt that he owes to Sykes. Like, we don't know what happened. I can take a guess because what happens at the end of the movie with him and Winston, but that's all I can think of. But no, we don't know. But we lost a bet with him, but we don't know. Or he just lent him money one day. We don't know. Why does he owe money to Sykes? So Fagin falls down after he basically falls off the thing and swims back while the other dogs and Oliver are keeping the Soto and Rascal busy. So when the Soto finds Oliver scratches his nose because he threatens to eat him, and those Dobermans try to attack poor Oliver, and the other dogs defend him. And this is when Sykes starts honking his horn to call his Dobermans back up to him, and they have to go. And Rita says, "Run along, Rascal, your master's calling." So they go back up there, and they tell him that this ain't finished, Dodger. You guys will pay for this, starting with that cat. So they go back up there, and Fagin comes back after being soaking wet, and they go and Fagin reads his doggies a book after he gets to eat the last doggy treat, and which is about a dog chasing a bunny. And it turns to nighttime. Oliver goes and sleeps by Dodger, and it goes to the next day. So basically, what happened was that Sykes gives Fagin 3 days to pay him back, and that's what they have to do here. 3 days to get him paid back, and so he tells his dogs to go off on their own and find some money. So, like, he has to go find some money too, and basically, I don't know what they're after Rita sings this song called "Now Listen Up," which is I like 3 of the songs in this movie, which is Why Should I Worry, and Now Listen Up, and Perfect Might Be. So I don't know who plays Rita, but she can sing pretty good. Because I'm pretty sure Bette Midler, who plays Georgina. So, and so anyway, this is when they see the limbo for where Jenny and Winston are in, and she got a letter from her parents, and then she's reading it to Winston, and instead of looking at the road, Winston's listening to her reading, correcting her words, which he could do, but he should still pay attention on the road, and if that would happen, he would not hit Einstein, and he would not have his car almost get hijacked by a chihuahua. Like, how the heck? I don't know what they're planning to do here, but are they planning to steal the car? How is that gonna work? Who's gonna drive it? Huh? And I mean, only one that's strong enough to push the car is probably Einstein. Like, I don't get it. I'm probably putting too much thought into this, but still, I don't get it. What are they planning to do here? But poor Tito gets electrocuted. He calls it barbecued, but he gets electrocuted, and that makes where the whole entire car goes wild, and he accidentally leaves all. Yet he gets electrocuted, but Oliver doesn't. Okay. So Winston somehow gets the car started after Jenny finds Oliver and drives back to their mansion. And Winston says, you can't keep him, you have to call your parents, basically. And she says, they don't mind, really. And she says, Georgette's not gonna like this. Which is, Georgette's probably how probably how Jenny's parents got rich, because she's a show dog, and you get a lot of money when you show up a dog. And Georgette is a poodle, a full-blooded poodle, and like I said before, she's played by Bette Midler, which I do not know who she is. Obviously, a famous singer is what she sings here. She sings "Girl, You Got Work to Do," and she put it on her makeup and stuff like that, and she shows off to a bunch of dogs and stuff like that, and we see all her ex-boyfriend and stuff and too. And when she comes downstairs, she meets after when Winston is talking to Ginny's parents, who are on a business trip. At least they're alive, unlike a lot of parents in Disney. But they're just on a business trip, and we won't see them because they don't come home until after the movie's over. So, and Georgette. Why did you call her Georgina? Georgette goes into the kitchen and finds that Oliver is eating her bowl, and this is not even cat food. I don't know what Jenny's feeding him, but obviously a cake, probably. But she's a little girl, she doesn't know any better, and they don't probably have cat food yet, so let's deal with it. They take well, Georgette says that do you happen to know how large of bowls you're eating? And after that, Jenny told them that we get to keep Oliver. And so we have a little montage here of Jenny singing Together with Me. After we see Jenny here playing the piano with Oliver, and we see them like at Central Park alone. What kind of guardian are you, Winston? You let her go to Central Park alone. What? And after we see the montage, the other dogs come and get the dogs go and try to get Oliver, and they get Oliver out of there after Frank says Winston to come outside, and Georgette and Tito fall in love, kind of, but I don't get it. How was this gonna work? I mean, Lady and Tramp made sense. They were both the same size of dog. I mean, yes, Tramp's a little taller than Lady, but it makes sense. This does not make sense. How does Tito reach her? That's where I'm going to keep it at that. I'm going to keep it that, so I want to keep it at least PG rating. But still, keep this, because since my kids watching this video. But still, I don't get it. Make more sense for like someone like Einstein to hit on her, but okay. So they head out. They take Oliver and head back to the boat, and Fagin gets an idea to trade Oliver back to Jenny, who he thinks is an adult and a man, and to get his money so he can pay back Sykes. And so he writes a letter to Jenny because Oliver got a caller for her address, so he leaves the note right there and a map how to find him. And when Jenny finds it, she hugs Georgette and tells her we're gonna get him back, and she hates this because she doesn't like Oliver. So she somehow gets away from Winston. Like, seriously, Winston, you are a bad butler. She goes down to the docks by herself. Somehow she finds her way to the docks while getting kidnapped, and she finds it, and Fagin realizes that he can't do what he planned to do. He can't ask a little girl to give him money because she hands him her piggy bank, because when you're rich and you're a little bit and you're a kid, your money is not, the money that made you rich is not owned by you until you're 18. She's too young to handle her money, so the only money she's got is in that piggy bank that is officially hers, so that she can get her hands on. So Fagin just gives her back Oliver, and this is when Sykes kidnaps her. Well, I did skip a part where Fagin explains to Sykes that I have this cat who belongs to a rich person. I'm going to use this cat to get your money. So, and Sykes says you have 12 hours. So, yeah, so there. And he says this is your last chance. So, and poor Dodger gets beat up by the Dobermans. So, and he tells Rita, they didn't lay a paw. You're like, yeah, sure they didn't. I'm pretty sure you should be bloody and bruised up, but this is a cartoon. They can't show that. You gotta keep this P rating, and that make it a little bit higher. G rating, because the first one that's PG is the Black Cauldron. But they after, like I said, Ginny gets kidnapped afterwards, and after this, and they go after her and saves her, and yeah, so and they both so the way that these three characters die is pretty brutally. I mean, it's not as brutal as Clayton's death off of Tarzan, which I think is still the most brutal death in Disney, but it's still brutal because poor the Dobermans, which they do not deserve this, get electrocuted by landing on train tracks, and Sykes gets run over by a train, and that's how we think Oliver is dead for a little while, but which he isn't, and they take her home, and Jenny's birthday comes up, and after this we find out, like, Jenny gets a call from her parents and say, they're back tomorrow, and from the business trip. And this is when Winston and Fagin are both watching wrestling, and I guess they must have betted on, and Fagin lost, And so, yeah, now he has to owe money to these guys. Great! You got yourselves out of one pickle into another pickle. Nice job, Fagin. So, hope you guys like this review. What do I think of this one? So, yeah, if you guys watched my top 10, which you guys probably didn't, that one doesn't have any views, but this is not one of my favorite Dark Ages movie. This is not my favorite, because that belongs to Fox and the Hound. This one is one of my favorites of the Dark Ages. This is not my favorite. So I would give this one a 9 out of 10. So let me go and get my Oliver and ask him what he thinks about it. Just turn the camera around, because he's right there. Sully! Here, kitty, kitty, kitty! What, Martha? I'm looking outside! And your camera's low! Okay, so you made this quick then? Yeah! I might give this one Orpha Pies? Yep, so... Like, favorite, and subscribe, guys. And one more thing before I end this video. I have a new subscriber, so whoever you are, Mr. 57, do you want to make a request for me? Just tell me down in the comics. Or Mrs. 57, whoever gender you are, you get to make a request to me, since you're new. So, bye-bye!